What's going on, y'all? K Magneto Best here. I played this deck to get my Cassandra Nova Pandart variant. It was an absolute blast, and then I took it onto ladder, and it was an absolute blast there. This might be the most well-positioned deck in the metagame right now. Look out for this one. This is the list, a Cassandra Nova Ajax deck, and I am not really in the business of playing Cassandra Nova for the purposes of Ajax, so we'll get to that a little bit later when we talk about the individual cards here. This list is a bounce deck that is looking to leverage Bounce's ability to play a lot of cards and generally have a favorable matchup into the Thena decks, and also looking to leverage Cassandra Nova, Ajax, and Hazmat in order to have a favorable matchup into the Arishem decks. The two major decks that most people are playing at the top end of ladder, whether that be in Deadpool's Diner or in High Infinite, are Arishem and or Thena Darkhawk decks. A lot of this is because of Arishem. So Bounce generally has a good matchup into the Thena Darkhawk decks because it goes just a little bit taller, and the inclusion of Cassandra Nova means you are excellent into Arishem, and of course you have this Ajax Hazmat plan, which is also good into Arishem because they are unable to Shang-Chi your Ajax very early into the game. Now, this is a very metagamed consideration, but in a world where most people are playing one of Thena Darkhawk or Arishem, I think this could be straight up the absolute best deck in the game because of how good it is at dealing with both of those matchups. Now, before we get into the card-by-card breakdown, I know many people will be asking what they can replace Cassandra Nova with. The easiest answer right now is to replace it with Sage. Now, that will meaningfully impact your ability to easily farm Arishem decks. You're still going to be in that matchup, but Cassandra Nova is obviously your absolute best card against Arishem. Going to Sage sort of changes your matchup spread a little bit. One of the major reasons I like this deck is because it's so well positioned into Thena Darkhawk and into Arishem. You end up losing a little bit of that. You end up being a little bit less well positioned into Thena Darkhawk, but you also end up being a little less well positioned into Arishem. I'm sorry, I misspoke. More well positioned into Thena Darkhawk, less well positioned into Arishem. The Hood is at the core of nearly every bounce deck that this game has to offer. The general value proposition of bounce decks is so interrelated to having the Hood in your deck and being able to move the Hood from the board to your hand, mitigating the downside and maximizing the upside of getting a 1/6 demon. Now, there is a lot of hand management in a strategy like this. However, this deck, by being fairly limited in terms of 1-drops, has a lot less hand management struggles than other bounce decks. That's not to say it doesn't happen, but it is something that you will have to deal with a little bit less because you're only running 3 1-drops. Rocket Raccoon is just kind of really big. If you hit it once and then bounce it, you're looking at a potential 9 on the final turn of the game. And that kind of thing is very easily paired with something like an Ajax or a Shang-Chi in order to threaten multiple lanes at the same time. This is a crucial part of why this deck makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying it's irreplaceable, but it is a very specifically powerful card that can make your opponent play in very awkward ways, and part of this deck's power is being able to threaten multiple lanes powerfully on the final turn of the game. Rocket Raccoon, you can have a final turn of like Rocket Raccoon, Demon, Shang-Chi. That's extremely powerful. A Shang-Chi alongside about 15 power, assuming the rocket hits 1 or 2 times, is really, really good. Nico Minoru, also a crucial card in bounce decks, and typically is used here for a variety of different things. You can use her to draw 2 cards, you can use her to copy a card that you're really interested in doing. Copying Cassandra Nova against Arishem, obviously pretty ridiculous. If you aren't playing Cassandra Nova, copying Sage is pretty ridiculous. There's a lot that you can do with a deck like this, a lot of power involved in the various Nico things. Drawing 2 cards is great, copying is great, giving power is great, her own power going up is good. One thing to note about her own power doubling is that if you play Nico and then play Beast, her power will not double. You're going to want to play a card in another lane, or in the same lane, I guess. Play a card in between your Nico that is doubling her own power and Beast. That's really what I'm getting at here. The Hazmat Ajax stuff is likely replaceable with Darkhawk stuff, but the advantage of being a Hazmat Ajax deck is that you are able to be a deck that can, in fact, just play your 5-drop on 5. It's not always the greatest thing, but if you're a Darkhawk deck, you are usually very afraid of playing Darkhawk on turn 5 because it's going to get Shang-Chi'd. Shang-Chi's at like a 60-70% play rate. It's going to get Shang-Chi'd. Being a Hazmat Ajax deck means that you can play it on 5, Hazmat on 6, and get a ton of power there in a way that is non-Shang-Chiable. Hazmat is also good in the context of you being a Viper deck. Now, Viper is a little bit iffy in a deck like this. Cards like Nocturne, Copycat seem perfectly fine as replacements, but having a way to send over the hood is legitimately powerful. I'm not saying there's a huge clog theme in this deck, but between White Widow and Viper, there is a reasonable amount of clog that can be accomplished, and Hazmat is obviously very good if you are clogging what your opponent is doing. The other part of your clog strategy is, of course, White Widow, who is just excellent. Like, this is a card that is great to beast. This is a card that is great generally. Having this clog stuff in your deck is just good, and it gets even better when you're an Ajax Hazmat deck, of course. This kind of stuff that you have, this like minor clog sub-theme, ends up being fairly important against decks that are looking to fill up the board, because you get to fill up their stuff on your time, which is making it very dangerous for your opponent to actually like put 2 or 3 units into one lane, because you can fill it up, close it off from them, and there will be nothing they can do about it. Bounce decks are generally interested in Falcon. I think if you wanted to try something that wasn't Falcon here, you could try something like Grandmaster or some sort of card that's looking to juice cubes. I personally got a lot of value out of Falcon, especially because there is still a decent amount of Dr. Octopus running around, some things like that that I really just don't want to deal with, and I want to have as many outs to as possible. Falcon ended up being pretty solid for me. Sending your cards back to hand, yeah, he's worse than Beast almost all of the time, and you should be playing to set up Beasts rather than Falcons, but sometimes Falcon is just what you need. Beast is pretty much the best 2-drop in this entire deck, maybe the best card in this entire deck, because you are able to use this card to multiply your White Widows, multiply your Hoods, multiply your Cassandra Novas. You end up making this card incredibly, incredibly powerful. This deck would not exist without Beast, and I think that the fact that it does exist is a testament mostly to the power of this card. It is that good. Beast is a monster. Cassandra Nova is your anti-Arishem tech. One of the risks that you ran with a deck like this previously was that you were good into Thena Darkhawk, Thena Gwenpool type stuff. You were good into that because of the power you were able to bring to bear, but you weren't particularly good into Arishem specifically, or at the very least, it was a pretty even matchup and you had to play very well. One of the major ways you can make your bounce deck be better into Arishem is play Cassandra Nova. The other one is play Shang-Chi. And this deck accomplishes both of those things. Between Nova and Shang-Chi, you should be absolutely set in terms of beating Arishem with this deck, which is a new feeling for, I think, a lot of people. Now, you do have some mild leech weaknesses, but you should be able to get out ahead of it a decent amount of the time. Again, this card also can get bounced in normal matchups. So a turn 2 White Widow, turn 3 Cassandra Nova, turn 4 1-drop and a Beast is an incredibly powerful way to play. That Cassandra Nova is going to end up with like 12 power. The White Widow's coming down again. You get your 1-drop for free again. That stuff is just insane. So Cassandra Nova compares well with Sage in the sense of you can get double out of her with the Beast, with the Nico clones, but you can also just play her early and she's just good. Werewolf by Night is a bit of an iffy card in this deck. I was not in love with it, but then there are some games where it is just like your only thing that is going to win you a bunch of games. And so it ends up being a bit of a choice a lot of the time. You have to choose which direction you're going to go. Are you going to be a Werewolf on 3 deck? If you're a Werewolf on 3, then you're Cassandra Nova plus a 1-drop on 4, and then turn 5 is your bounce turn, which leaves you unable to play Ajax. There are some things that you really have to navigate in terms of how your turns 3, 4, and 5 look when you have hands that have all of these options in it. And so there's a lot of thinking about what the optimal way to approach a various situations is going to be. Werewolf ends up being right a decent amount of the time, but sometimes he legitimately is a trap. Viper, I think, could be a lot of cards here. I have enjoyed her. I do wonder if something like Copycat isn't just like straight up better, just generally. Same 3-5, potentially higher upside. We already have Falcon and Beast to get rid of the Hood, but I am enjoying having her as just a way to unclog myself, a way to clog up other people. Using her with the hood is obviously super sick. It's a very, very powerful play, and I think that people should be fairly respectful of Viper at this point in time. Not the only 3-5 you could play here, but one that I'm generally in favor of right now. Bounce decks have two real approaches. The first is I'm going taller than everything, and the second is I'm going to actually play a little bit of tech. And this deck has the luxury of being able to fit a card like Shang-Chi in. And in order to get to that point, it does have to sacrifice things like, Hitmonkey and Black Swan. And so it ends up playing less like a bounce deck and more like a mid-range deck that has bounce elements, because you are still this Ajax, Cassandra, Hazmat, Shang-Chi deck. Like, you are still just like, sometimes you're just playing good cards, right? You're just actually just running them over with the cards in your deck that are good. Sometimes you're clogging them up. You're not always a bounce deck in those cases. Like, there are some interesting arguments as to like what this deck actually is, and I think having Shang-Chi in it is sort of why that is. This is a bit of a hybrid between a bounce and a mid-range deck. If you want to be a pure bounce deck, I mean, Black Swan is great at that. Hitmonkey is great at that. That's definitely something you can do and just try to go power for power with Arishem. I have found it more reliable to simply include Shang-Chi. The top end of this deck is actually like very interesting to me because Ajax's biggest competition for this spot is Darkhawk. And the major advantage that Ajax has over Darkhawk is being able to be played on turn 5 and not having to worry about it too much. Like, yeah, sometimes, rarely, it'll get rogued or enchantressed. But the most common interaction you're going to be running into in this iteration of Marvel Snap is Shang-Chi followed by Shadow King. Neither of those work on Ajax, and especially the Shang-Chi interaction is part of why I like him right now. Ajax on 5 represents a ton of points, but isn't a ton of points. So, if you don't have priority and you have a Hazmat, your Ajax is not getting Shang-Chi. And that really, really matters. One of the things that really stuck out to me when I was playing the Darkhawk builds was I can never play this card on turn 5. If I play this card on turn 5, it is getting Shang-Chi every time. And I don't like having that feeling when I'm playing Marvel Snap. It's just a really awkward thing to do. Ajax ends up comparably big in almost every matchup that is not against Arishem, and you should feel fairly confident against Arishem due to various Cassandra Nova and Shang-Chi shenanigans already, which makes Ajax a good choice in this list. Alright, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this iteration of K Magneto Best. I'm going to give you a couple of lines as we leave, just so you can have these clips of me saying it, so here you go. We are the future. There we go. For those who are wondering why I'm in this Magneto cosplay, we hit a sub goal on Twitch. So thank you so much to everyone who subscribed and helped me to hit that sub goal. I know there are a couple other questions like, hey, is your head hot? Yes, extremely, extremely hot. I'm sweating so much under this. You honestly have no idea. So with that, thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe. I have been K Magneto Best. I will see you in the next one. Well, I suppose KM Best might see you in the next one. K Magneto Best, maybe not. Let's get into the gameplay. I really hope that's not a thing. Christ. I do not feel good about this. I do not feel good about this at all. Maybe I feel good about this. I don't know. Nico for a demon? Oh, you piece of shit. That's the auto snap. My werewolf on that. All right. I think we're making a read here. You know something, chat? Sometimes you just fucking feel it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just fucking feel it. The read, the lob, the jam. And then from there, we have to just, like, win or not win, basically. Oh, man, untapped's not up. Hold on. Or a what cosplay? What are you getting at, Get Wrecked? Okay, I need to move the deck. That's not the deck. I can't move the deck. There it is. Sorry, I'm roping. I'm trying to figure out how to make this go somewhere that is functional. Now, it's blocking the energy? You move the Conqueror's banner above your head? I can't actually move the Conqueror's banner, I think. Conqueror's banner has to stay where it is. So I can put this here, maybe? Or here. I can cut off the bottom of it. Go like that. Something like that is as close as I can get, I think. Wait, what did they do? I totally... Okay, they Agent Coulsoned into there. They're Lokiing me. Sick helmet? I know. Nice hat, thank you. Ah. It's a cold game. It's hard to focus with this on. Like, it really is odd. It's an odd thing. You clutching me that variant tomorrow or what? Boy, I do not know. So they have a Shang-Chi potentially onto the Ajax. They could have a Shang-Chi and then move stuff to the left. I'm pretty scared, I think. Okay, that's every card. The most balanced card in the world, Loki. Okay, I was like, surely they did not also have the ability to play a Shang-Chi. They didn't. Quake steals cubes? I believe you. He do be stealing cubes, though. Oh, I don't want to play any of these cards. So this gives me a demon. No, I want to be doing rocket stuff here, don't I? It's going to be fine, right? So I go Demon, Rocket, Falcon. Any bubs tonight, Cam? We're gonna be bubbing, I think, I'm sure. No, we snipe block up. I just made a play. I don't really know. Nice. I just was like, I'm gonna make a play, and then it'll be fine. It'll work out. You know what I mean? I just gotta move my stuff around so it doesn't get shanger bangered. This guy's running mill. I mean, I don't really think I need to know that, but thank you. I'm turn 1 snapping White Widow, Cassandra Nova, Beast on Kamartaj. Hood and Beast stay. What are they snapping on here? Is this like a Doc Ock or some shit? Black Bolt left just discards demons. Got it back, baby. Got it back, baby. Helmet's killing me right now. We have none of the things that do something broken here. Never mind. Jesus. I hate that. Helmet's fire, thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, gross. Do we think they're gonna... They have 7 cards in hand. Do we just play like they're going to blow this up? Do we just say, you're always blowing this up, it's fine? What if our read is they blow this up? Now, of course, if they don't blow this up, we fucking die. But, you know, that's only 1 cube. I don't really care. Yeah! There we go. Oh my god, that's so many demons. Jesus. Alright, I mean, we'll snap it. I'm losing? Okay, leave then. They did not leave. Okay, so in this world, we go burr, we go burr, we go burr. Now it's a demon, now it's the world's largest Ajax. They were, in fact, losing. They correctly identified that situation. Nice mask. What do you mean mask? I am Magneto, the master of magnetism. This is simply just what I'm like. It's called a helmet. Okay. The mighty master of magnetism. Annoying. Extremely annoying. What would I prefer bouncing? Nico? Whoa, they snapped me? That's fucked. Wild. Copycat my werewolf. No, I get it. That makes sense to me. Good move. Really strong. I understand what's happening here. Nothing I'm happy about. Now they are, you know, doing some stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah. Who's gaming? I'm gaming. I'm gaming, chat. Check out the amount of gaming that is happening here. I'm gaming. We're gaming to an incredible degree. The amount of gaming that is happening here, man, when they played the second one here, oh my god. God, what a great avatar. So nice. Are you growing your hair out for a mullet? No. I just am too lazy to actually go get it cut. That is the actual answer. I am too lazy to go get a frickin' haircut. Just not built for it. Goddamn, what a cool game. Yo, check this shit out, chat. Oh, never mind. I was gonna do a Deadpool thing. My B. Now we're Draxing. We're gonna do a Drax Rocket Raccoon final turn of this game. It's gonna be so sick. Did you watch the movie? No, I haven't watched the movie yet. You literally pick up one card. My hits here are mostly good. Let's do it. Mid movie? I have heard the same things, that it was pretty mid. Sure. Acceptable. Wow, these mirrors. This is what happens when I play a deck, Geo. I'm not even joking. This is literally what happens when I play a deck. Like, I know it sounds like I'm, like, jerking myself off a little bit. It's not. It's just what happens. Beast before Hazmat. But then I'll hit the Beast. Maybe I am supposed to do that. I don't know. Those mechanics feel weird to me. I'll try it. Oh, that's a fucking Ajax, isn't it? Just a demon? Okay, I am a little confused here. We win the tiebreaker. I'm deeply skeptical that taking Sage out of this deck is correct. That question verges far too much on that. Nico move. Okay. I think we win the Asgard here. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm horrified right now. What is happening? I think I might lose 8 here. Yeah, that's looking like -8 to me. Oh, it's not -8. Holy shit. Okay. So the way it was -8 was if that was like a bigger guy in the middle. Oh, okay, not -8. I was really scared once they played the Sarah because it made this card and this card real, and those